kids! What's your favorite holiday? Well, today we are going to talk about Christmas and how people around the world celebrate it. Children love Christmas as it is the season of spending quality time with friends and family, and of course, Santa Claus. It is also the holiday on which we receive and give a lot of gifts. Do you like gifts? Yeah, I think everybody loves those gifts around the Christmas tree. But what is Christmas and why do people celebrate it? Well, here is the Christmas story. Long ago, in a place called Nazareth, lived a woman named Mary. She was a hard-working woman who was always good to other people. She was engaged to be married to a man called Joseph, who was also good at heart. One day, God sent an angel to Mary by the name of Gabriel. The angel told her that God was going to send the Holy Spirit to earth to help people, and he would be born as Mary's son, and she would name him Jesus. God was going to send Jesus so he can make a way for people and God to be friends again. Mary was worried about how this was possible since she was not married, but the angel assured her that it would be a miracle from God. The angel also told her that her cousin Elizabeth, who had no children, would also give birth to a baby boy called John, who would prepare the way for Jesus' birth. When Mary heard this, she went to meet Elizabeth, and it was all true. Elizabeth also was expecting a baby. Mary came back home after 3 months. By then, she was pregnant and the belly was getting bigger. This worried Joseph, who wondered if he should call off the wedding and not marry with Mary. But one night, while he was asleep, an angel visited in his dreams and told him about God's plan and urged him to marry Mary. Joseph woke up the next morning and decided that he would make Mary his wife. After the wedding, Joseph and Mary made a trip to Bethlehem, the place where Joseph's family came from. However, when they reached there, they could not find a place to stay as the village was super crowded. The only place they could find to spend the night was a barn where the animals lived. And that is where Mary gave birth to the Son of God, Jesus Christ. The birth of Jesus was signified by a bright star in the sky. Some wise men from different parts of the world who understood the significance of the star started following the star. They followed until the star reached Bethlehem and stopped over the barn where Jesus was born. They brought along many gifts for the baby and his parents. In other parts of Bethlehem, where shepherds were grazing their sheep, angels appeared to give them the good news. The shepherds sang and were happy to welcome Jesus to earth. But why is Jesus' birth good news? Well, we have to go back and look at what happened a long time before Jesus was born. You see, when God first made the world and everything in it, the seas and the mountains, the animals and the plants, he also made a man called Adam and a woman called Eve. God wanted to be friends with them and gave them the whole world to rule. He told them to give names to the animals and to take ownership over everything. He even had placed them in the most beautiful garden called Eden. In the Garden of Eden, there was all kinds of trees full of delicious fruits. And God told Adam and Eve that they can eat from any tree that they like. However, there were 2 trees that Adam and Eve were not allowed to eat from because if they did, they would die. One day, as Eve was walking around the beautiful Garden of Eden, there came a serpent. He told her that God was not telling the truth. They would not die if they ate a fruit from the forbidden tree. On the contrary, their eyes would be open and they would be even smarter. Was that true? No, that was not the truth. God had not lied to them. The serpent was lying. Eve got deceived, so she ate the fruit and then even gave it to her husband Adam. They both disobeyed God and could not live together with him anymore. God was very sad that he lost his friends, but he promised that one day he will send his son to come and live amongst us and then to die and resurrect again, this way making a way for God and people to be friends again. That is why Christmas is such good news to those who believe it, because God made a way. Since then, this day has been celebrated as Christmas. People go to church at midnight to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. They exchange gifts, sing carols, and enjoy themselves remembering the greatest gift God made for all people. But how is Christmas celebrated around the world? Surely every country has different ways of celebrating this holiday. Let's see what children do around the world. For example, in Germany, have you ever seen a pickle ornament on a Christmas tree? Yes, a pickle ornament. It's very popular in Germany. The first person to find the pickle ornament in the tree gets an extra gift. That sounds fun. In Netherlands, instead of Santa Claus, children wait for Sinterklaas and his helper Black Pete on December 6. If the kids leave shoes filled with hay and sugar for Sinterklaas' horse, he will refill those shoes with candy and nuts. How cool! In Iceland, the 13 days leading up to Christmas, 13 tricksy troll-like characters come out to play. They are called julelads, and they visit the children across the country for 13 nights leading up to Christmas. For each night of Juletid or Christmas time, children place their best shoes by the window and a different julelad visits, leaving gifts for nice girls and boys and rotting potatoes for the naughty ones. How about Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela, where every Christmas Eve the city's residents head to church in the early morning? What's so special about that, you may say? Well, for reasons only they know. They do so on roller skates. Yes, they go to church on roller skates. This unique tradition is so popular that all the roads across the city are closed to cars so the people can skate to church in safety before heading home for less than traditional Christmas dinner on tamales, which is a wrap made out of cornmeal dough and stuffed with meat, then steamed. While we decorate our Christmas trees with tinsel and stars, do you know what people in Ukraine use for decoration? They use decorations that mimic the natural formation of spider webs. Yes, spider webs are used as decoration for Christmas trees. The tradition goes back to a story about a poor widow who could not afford to decorate a tree for her children. The legend says that spiders in the house felt sorry for the family who had nothing to put on the tree, so they spun beautiful webs all over the tree, which the children saw when they woke up on Christmas morning. Spider webs are also considered to be lucky in Ukrainian culture. And since the Russian Christmas is celebrated during the bitterly cold Russian winter, the lighting of fire seems appropriate and is an old Slavic tradition. Just find a place to have your own bonfire with your family and sing carols around the fire together. Fun fact time! Here are 7 fun facts about Christmas. Number 1. Did you know that Christmas was not always on December 25th? Yes, while Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ, there is no mention of December 25th in the Bible. Most historians actually think that Jesus was born sometime in the spring. Number 2. You can thank Prince Albert for your Christmas tree. Yes, when Prince Albert of Germany introduced the tree to his new wife, Queen Victoria of England, it took off across the pond real quick. Number 3. Santa Claus or Sinterklaas. You probably already knew that the idea of Santa Claus came from Saint Nicholas, but the real saint was not a bearded man who wore a red suit. That all came much later. According to the legend, the 4th century Christian bishop gave away his inheritance to help the poor people and rescue women from servitude. His name was Sinterklaas in Dutch, which later morphed into Santa Claus that we use today. Number 4. Hanging stockings started by accident. What? Yes, according to the legend, we hang stockings by the chimney thanks to a poor man who didn't have enough money for his 3 daughters' dowries. Generous old Saint Nick, remember the real generous Santa Claus who helped the poor? He dropped a bag of gold down their chimney one night where the girls had hung their wet stockings to dry. And that's exactly where the gold ended up, inside their stockings, and how the tradition began. Number 5. Christmas wreaths are Christ's symbols. The Christmas wreath originated as a symbol of Christ. The holy represents the crown of thorns Jesus wore at his crucifixion, and the red berries symbolize the blood he shed. So when you see a wreath this season, you'll remember the reason for the season. Number 6. We really need our postal services during the holidays. Between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day last year, the U.S. Postal Service delivered an estimated 910 million packages, in addition to almost 15 billion pieces of mail. That's a lot. That includes all the gifts we send and people send for faraway loved ones, the cards, the letters to Santa Claus, and everything else we send. Number 7. The Christmas gift that held a life-saving secret. Now this is a fun one. During the World War II, the United States Playing Card Company joined forces with the American and British intelligence agencies to create a very special deck of cards. They gave them out as Christmas gifts that also helped Allied prisoners of war escape from German camps. Individual cards peeled apart when they were moistened to reveal maps of escape routes. Now that's a Christmas gift that saved lives. Well, so many fun things we have learned today. Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite holiday? And what would you like to get for Christmas this year? Well, dear friends, this is it for today. Hope you enjoyed learning together. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, rise and shine. Bye-bye.